All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. I'm your host, Dean Booty. I don't know why I said it like that, sorry. Okay, so let's have a look then. We're going to do Clough Rd figures, monthly figures, really, really quick. It's Wednesday. On Friday, we're going to go through my management accounts for the quarter as well. Yes, I'm going to share them with you as well. £129,000 profit. I think it's one of our best quarters ever. And we've had so much R&D costs, let's say, as well. So we're heading in the right direction. We'll soon. The aim is in just over a year's time to get to a seven-figure EBITDA. Seven-figure EBITDA in a year. That's where I want to be in a year and a bit. I might have to acquire somebody's self-storage. So if you've got a self-storage, you want to sell it, let me know. Although, if you listen to this podcast, you're obviously a lot better operator than most of the people just by listening to me. But what the idea is to basically take a self-storage that's poorly run, add value to it, and just make money, make extra cash flow. That's the idea. But obviously, if you listen to a podcast about self-storage, then you're quite proactive, not because you listen to me, it's because your mindset is proactive, and therefore you want to better and educate yourself, and therefore I would like to say I can better it, but maybe I can't, who knows? So yeah, that's the idea anyway. So if you've got a self-storage to sell, then let me know. deanbooty@icloud.com. Right, so Clough Rd. I'm just going to read this here. I've just got a note here. I've managed to... Angela's basically said she has to do it all by hand. Poor Angela. Must have took her ages. Right, so we had 142 quotes at Clough Rd. That's 4.73 quotes per day. Number of reservations were 14. Now remember, yes, only 14 reservations, but we didn't have many rooms available. So therefore, we can't actually sell them if we don't have them available, because obviously phase two, my fault, phase two, we started phase two later, and obviously Janice have taken longer than they've said, and that screwed us up as well. So yeah, never mind. So number of reservations, 14. So that is a conversion rate of 10%, which obviously is rubbish, but it's literally one in, one out, so we can't control it. All right, let's have a look. Quotes to move-ins. How many move-ins do we have? We have 22 move-ins. So that's a conversion rate of 15.49%. So a little bit better, but again, it's one in, one out, so we couldn't do much. We've had one cancelled reservation, which amounts to 7% of our overall reservations. Where do our quotes come from? I think this is fascinating, much more so than the Willoughby branch. So 92 quotes came from Google. That is 65% of the overall inquiries. However, it was only amounted to 11 move-ins for 835 square foot. That was for square footage, it was only 44%, 44.65%, which is incredible. Check this out, signs, 37 inquiries from signs. So that only amounted to 26% of our overall inquiries, but there was 8 move-ins for 910 square foot. So that meant that it was 48.66%. Angela's made a mistake here. I've seen, sorry, Angela, I didn't mean to say, I was just thinking out loud. She's put the same percentage for move-ins. What is we have a percentage button for move-ins and the amount of square foot moved in. What percentages of them two different things in the both same figures? So one of them's wrong. So it amounted to 49% of the overall square foot moved in. That's incredible. That's because we're a prominent facility. So that just shows you, we spent over $2,000 on advertising and signs. Signs having a prominent location is worth over £2,000 a month. So for my money, it's worth, and don't forget, every single movie is going to be worth over £1,000 as well, lifetime value of the customer. So for me, it's a prominent location all the way now. I probably won't have another self-storage unless I acquire one. I won't start another self-storage company up unless it's in a very, very prominent location, because these figures are immense. This is our biggest takeaway of the month. It's made me, sounds silly, but it's made me so happy. So 37 inquiries, and it was 48% of our overall square footage, which is I'm just going to check this. Just going to check it now. It won't be a second, because one figure's wrong. I'm not telling the wrong figure. So 910 divided by 1870. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's incredible. It's 49% of our overall inquiries of people passing by. It's incredible. Word of mouth, 9. That's 6% of our overall inquiries. And it was 75 square foot move-in and two move-ins. And that amounted to 4% of our overall square foot moved in. you would expect that to be bigger. You'd expect that to be bigger and better next time. It's a small sample size, but you'd expect that to improve as well. Used before, 1. You'd expect this to improve over time. We've only been here 5 months. 1 quote, social media, 1 quote as well. That's 0.7% of our overall move-ins. Social media's had no move-ins from us. Shock. Used before had 1 new customer, 50 square foot, and that amounted to 3% of our overall move-ins. Google ad spend was £4,151, but that's over 2 sites. So it was £377.40 per move-in, but basically it's over 2 sites. So you're talking £190 per move-in here. So if you've got the signs, it's free. It's free because it's in a great location. Actual cost per square foot to move in from Google is £4.97, but again, it's half. We should really half it on here. Try to do that for next month. So number of move-ins were 22, 1,870 square foot moved in, and 1,410 square foot moved out. Don't forget, it was 1 in, 1 out, so we couldn't really do anything extra. So net result was still 460 net, which is tremendous. Amount of rooms moved in, 20. Amount of rooms moved out, 15. So we've netted 5 for the month. Total internal rooms occupied is 80. 2 containers in, 1 moved out, so net for the month is 1, so every single container is rented out. That's 10. Total square foot occupied is 8,150, and we're 46.25% full. Don't forget we've included now all the first floor as well. Actual revenue for the last month is we've actually taken £14,433, so which is good, and we're taking average of £4,611 for insurance per move-in, so that's pretty good. Yeah, that is everything. I ain't got any chain rate or anything like that. I don't think so. Look at that figure. Let's have a look. Maybe I do. I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, might do. Square foot. I do, Angela. So the chain rate is 18%. New site. It'll be all over the place at the minute, and then it'll slowly start coming down over the years. But at the minute, it'll be bouncing over the place, and it's such a small sample size that it can a move out will trigger that to spike and decrease and stuff. Anyway, so there we go. That's Clough Rd. I'm super happy. If I could open 10 of these sites, I'd be a very, very happy and wealthy man, because it means that I'd do £2.5 million net profit very, very easily. So if I can find another one of these bloody things, it'll be amazing. Great landlord, great position. It's just worked. It has worked. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's manless, but just because it's manless, by the way, it doesn't mean that there's nobody working there. There's nobody actually working on site, but there's a team behind that. There's very, very few people who sign up without us talking to them. And so for those people who are just doing it all automated through the website, you can increase your reservations massively, substantially. I know Gavin Shields not agree with me on this. All right, Gav. But I believe you can increase it massively, because we know there's so many people who want to converted. But if you don't need them, if you're not bothered, if you want a slow trajectory, slow increase, and that's absolutely fine, slow fill up. But us, because of cash flow, etc., we want to fill up as quick as we possibly can do. All right, guys, girls, love you, appreciate you, and I will see you on Friday's episode when I'm going to go through my quarterly accounts. All right, see you, dude. Bye.